Oregon is getting much healthier heading into this big showdown in Week 8 against the UCLA Bruins. Mario Cristobal meeting with the media on Monday to kick off the week and provided various updates on the personnel. So I just wanted to hop on here and talk about some injury updates. But before I get into that, just wanted to ask everyone a quick favor that's watching. Please go ahead and take a second to subscribe to the channel. Really helps me keep doing my thing and covering the Ducks, and it only takes a second out of your day, and it's free. So with that being said, let's talk about the injury updates. I think one of the biggest surprises from this Cal game was Alex Forsyth wasn't able to go. Mario Cristobal said last week that he looked like he was ready to go, and he was expecting him to play. But he's the injury that we want to start off with, the injury update that we wanted to start off with. Cristobal is saying, quote, should be back at full strength, was almost back, but had to pull him last second because he wasn't quite ready. So like I said, that was a surprise to everybody on the outside looking in. And it looked like it was a surprise to the program as well. Ryan Walk slid in slid over, I should say, from the guard spot to handle the snapping duties for this game. He did pretty well against Stanford. And then again, had a pretty strong game against Cal, as did the O-line. And I think one of the questions that kind of rose from the Cal game that I had and asked Mario Cristobal was that rotation. This was the most consistent we've seen the offensive line play from a personnel standpoint. Had about 5 guys that they just stuck with that entire time. And, I think that's been a question throughout the whole season. How often or for how long are we going to see these rotations throughout the season? Is that going to be something that's a sticking point, or are they maybe going to try to, stay to 5 guys for more consistency? And this is what Cristobal had to say on the O-line rotation and what we might be able to expect moving forward. Because I asked him, is that what we're going to have for most of the season, you think? Is that going to be your guys' approach moving forward, or is that really just what you were seeing against Cal? And this is what he said in response. A lot of that had to do with the fact that we had some guys that were injured and did not get back into the latter part of the week. Didn't feel they were as sharp as they needed to be to play. Those guys that we play up front, we play them when we feel like they've earned that time and they can really help us win. We thought Alex would be ready to go come game time. He was not. Both Dawson Jaramillo, and Jackson Powers Johnson were not able to join us until the latter part of the week, and we feel that they weren't at the level necessary to play winning football. To protect them, to protect the integrity of what we're doing, that's why we went with 5 guys that had worked together. And if there's something in the case that something would have happened, then those guys would have been plugged in. So that's what Cristobal had to say. And I think when he's talking about that last part, if somebody maybe got hurt, then those guys maybe would have been put in. But, it sounded like they didn't want to play them to, like Cristobal said, to protect them, protect what they're doing. Sounded like they might have gotten a little bit nicked up, a little bit dinged up with injuries. And then couple other updates. Mace Funa, he didn't play last week against Cal, and he's going to be a full go this week against UCLA. That's going to be huge for Oregon, especially when you're going up against a really talented rushing offense, rushing attack that the Bruins have with Zach Charbonnet, Britton Brown's probably the best duo in the Pac-12 so far this season. So one of the best rushing attacks in the country coming out of Los Angeles. So Mace Funa is going to be huge to set the edges and help Oregon push back the UCLA offensive line, which is really big, really physical, really experienced. So they're going to need everybody, all hands on deck for this one. Had a pretty strong performance against the run against Cal. I believe it was about 155 yards. So good for the team to get a little bit of momentum there, going in the right direction and getting Swinson back, getting Thibodeau back. This is the healthiest that they've been in a while. Like I said at the beginning of the video, we had Adrian Jackson got back as well. Jeffrey Bossa got his first start against Cal. So we'll see if he can continue, his development. I think he's one of the stronger options in that linebacker core as far as coverage. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, I think it's going to be big for Bossa to have a good game, seeing that he is maybe a little bit lighter, but naturally he's a little bit faster, a little bit quicker. And that'll really help, I think, when you're defending a quarterback like Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Ducks didn't get to face him last year, and I think that they probably would have lost that game if Dorian Thompson-Robinson had the green light to play last year when the Ducks won 38-35 in Autzen. A couple other updates here. Cornerback DJ James is also a full go. He got a little bit dinged up against Cal. Kind of a similar vein there, with all the talented weapons that this UCLA offense has. Kyle Phillips, Chase Cota, Michael Ezek. You really need all your weapons on defense, and James has been having a really strong season. Obviously, the Stanford game wasn't one of his brightest moments, but I think that he's been a very solid contributor, really good cornerback too, behind Mikael Wright. So having him to go in this one. They have some really talented tight ends as well. The Bruins do. So having him is going to be huge. And I think that his development has been a really big bright spot for this defense and is a big reason that they haven't gotten beat over the top, too many times this season. So that's another update we have coming in the secondary. And then Trey Benson as well. We didn't really see too much of him against Cal. I think the only running backs that recorded carries were Cardwell and Travis Dye. So we're still kind of seeing how this running back rotation is going to shake out. So Cristobal said that Trey is healthy, he's ready to go, and he'll be in the rotation. So will we see more of Trey Benson in this one? I think that this shapes up to be a very physical game. Obviously, Oregon wants to establish themselves on the ground. Travis Dye had a phenomenal game against Cal, and just showed that he's as versatile a weapon as they have. And he's going to be the focal point of this offense moving forward. So I really want to see what the Ducks have in Benson and Cardwell and McGee, because it's a lot of talent there, a lot of young talent. But that's the future of your program, right? Who knows if Dye is going to be back next year. You have to prepare yourself in the event that he does decide to go to the draft. He's having a great season, had an awesome season in a shortened pandemic season that got way overlooked. But Travis Dye's a baller. I've been a big supporter of his for the longest time now. So we'll see how Oregon, chooses to rotate those running backs. Joe Moorhead is expected to be back, coaching for this one. He did get cleared from his doctor this week to make the trip. For those that don't know, and the media have been told that in the case that Moorhead wasn't able to go, that Mastro was going to keep calling plays, and then someone else was going to handle the running back rotation. So obviously that's a lot to ask of somebody to call plays and handle the running back rotation. So Mastro, you would naturally think with Moorhead back in his typical play calling, running the offense, that Mastro will go back to handling the running back rotation. So we'll see how that kind of shakes out. But that's the updates that I have for this one. Going to be collaborating with UCLA Pub, the SI UCLA Pub, Sam Connon for some preview content to get everyone ready for this game. So be on the lookout for that. Going to be recording a new pod here pretty soon. Got more preview videos coming out. So like I said, go ahead and give me a follow on Twitter at mtorsports. Like this video and subscribe to the channel, and make sure to share it with people. Share it with other Duck fans, and we will see everybody in the next video.